Matthew 7:15 through 19. Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. By their fruit you will recognize them. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? Likewise, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. And a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus, by their fruit, you will recognize them. Bonhoeffer has an interesting take on this passage, which I think is quite obvious once we read it and think about it. But he says here, the separation of church and world is now complete. So he's told us about how the church cannot just simply go out and force conversion on the world, right? They must separate and follow their Lord. And only by following that narrow road will they have any impact. But the word of Jesus forces its way into the church herself, bringing judgment and decision. The separation is never permanently assured. It must constantly be renewed. The disciples of Jesus must not fondly imagine that they can simply run away from the world and huddle together in a little band. False prophets will rise up among them, and amid the ensuing confusion, they will feel more isolated than ever. There is someone standing by my side who looks just like a member of the church. He is a prophet, a preacher. He looks like a Christian. He talks and acts like one. But the dark powers are mysteriously at work, and it was these who sent him into our midst. Inwardly, he is a ravening wolf. His words are lies, and his works are full of deceit. So it's scary to think about that amongst our true believers, that there can be those who indeed are false prophets, false Christians, either out of self-deceit or out of attempted deceit of the brother to pull followers after themselves, whether it be for fame or for riches or for whatever reason. But Bonhoeffer here warns that the Christian can't just simply pull away from the world and live happily ever after. We wish we could. Because though we'll have trials in the world, even amongst the church, even amongst the brethren, there will be those who work their way in that are not truly of Christ. But in time, we will see and bear out those who are true from false, because Christ tells us we will know them by their fruit. We will know them by the finished work which they produce. So it's not our job, as Jesus says, to necessarily uproot the wheat from the tares before the appointed time and be fruit inspectors. But there is a sense in which we can look to those around us. And if someone is claiming knowledge or speaking prophetically or has a certain desire to lead, but time is not bearing out the fruit of their life, then we need to put that on hold. We need to make sure they indeed are truly walking after the Lord and aren't just doing so for false reasons. Have a blessed day. We'll see you guys tomorrow.